Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numeral Base to get all 4 of my books. And of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Number are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. That's right. We gotta change the world. That's you and me. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I do not own the rights to these music. So, and the lead singer of that is Teddy P, Teddy Pendergrass, the late great Teddy Pendergrass. Good day on this Friday, May the 5th. And today's birthdays are Chris Brown, Jim Kelly, the late Jim Kelly, martial arts extraordinaire. Nicole Miller, dear friend of mine, who used to be in the hip hop game. I forgot what she used to call herself, but she was good friends with people like Lauryn Hill and a lot of the great female rap artists back in the day. We all grew up. Nicole Miller and her beautiful sisters. She's a beautiful sister, chocolate sister, and Karen Miller, other beautiful chocolate sister. But today again is Jim Kelly, the late great Jim Kelly, who inspired many of us into the martial arts. I know he was one of them alongside another melanated person named Bruce Lee that inspired us into the martial arts from an Asian persuasion. And because we are the original Asiatic black man and woman, because if you dig deep into Asia, it gets darker and darker and darker and darker. So the original Asiatic black man, like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke about, that's who they were before they got, I guess, through changes of the skin complexion and all that. It is what it is. But today I wanted to speak and touch on W.M.D. W.M.D., the weapons of mass distraction. And one thing that we all can agree with is that the media is good at the weapon of mass distraction. But my point is to help you to stay focused and to be your greatest self, especially as a numerovator that practices numerovation, using numbers and the principles of motivation to take you to the next level as much as you want to be taken to the next level. Because a lot of us and a lot of our people need numerovation. A lot of these young people need it. They need to be motivated. And sometimes many of us don't realize that we can be distracted by bills and distracted by school and distracted by family and distracted by friends. But the weapon of mass distraction is definitely a lot of these apparatuses that we use that we call social media apparatuses, whether we're using Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans, all of that can be a weapon of mass distraction. But at least majority of the day, we should be focused or stay focused on learning about our internal possibilities that will enable us to be greater. That is what's going to be most important because the weapons of mass distraction has been music. The weapons of mass distraction has been movies. Now, if you're studying music and movies to get the lesson out of that movie, I have no problems with that. But when you constantly inundate yourself with certain movies or certain series that is just distracting you from staying focused, and look, I can suffer from that sometimes. Sometimes I like to watch a good series. You know what I'm saying? But however, their majority of the time I'm more focused on helping not just myself, but helping others to move along their path using the numbers that is closest to them. If life is mathematics and mathematics is life, then we need to understand the mathematics that are connected to us that will help us better help us make better choices in our life. So being very aware and being very alert of the weapons of mass distraction and looking at it from what it is and saying, you know what, I'm not going to be distracted for so long with that. Even with the things that they throw out there about celebrities, celebrities can be used as a weapon of mass distraction. Things and problems going on in the Middle East or in Europe or in shootouts and all that is used as a weapon of mass distraction. Now, how do we create our own healing in a mass way? How do we create of our own healing instead of it being a weapon of instead of using the weapon of mass distraction, which is and movies, media and movies that seems to lead a lot of people into mental instability. And that's why I wrote my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. And that's why it's called a numerovational guide to recognizing mental instability. Because in that book, I give brief but simple, applicable ways that you can overcome the mass distraction out there and help you to stay focused and help you along your way of recognizing your greatness. Because many of us, although we can speak it and say it, a lot of us don't recognize it. I had a client just the other day, young person, and due to when I looked at the person's number, the numbers automatically told me that she suffered from something that she's been holding on to since she was a young child. And then when I asked her the question, because like I tell people, I'm not here to read grown people, I'm here to remind you, to help you to recall what has happened so you can turn it to make the best lesson for yourself and turn those lessons into a blessings or a blessings, no matter what language you use. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was I was very happy by her response and that she was willing to open up in that way to me. And I don't take that lightly when people open up to me. I don't take that lightly and I don't say their names and say their birthday and all that kind of stuff. But if they are on the live, they will understand that I am mentioning that as a pivotal moment of learning for people out there that want to learn how to use their numbers. But we always got to, and what prohibits us from using our closest numbers to us or our intuition or our intuitive instinct, because what separates man from the man mind from the animal mind is that man has intuition alongside instinct, and the animal has its instinct strictly off of instincts according to their science. But what we need to learn to do is recognize the lower frequencies that they're putting out there and try and work on spinning it. Because if it really takes 16 positive to knock out one negative, according again to their social studies and their social sciences about and psychology, that it takes 16 positive to knock out one negative, then it is important that each and every mind out there, which the etymology of man is mind. So every mind out there and every heart out there, which is more connected to woman in that sense, every the duality of the masculine and feminine has to work together in order for you to overcome the distractions. So the male, masculine and feminine energy in both male and female, or people that hold the male, masculine and feminine body type that you're in now, have to learn to mold the mind and the heart together in order for you to overcome the weapons of mass distraction and stay in focus so you can be your greatest self. And it's all right to do that. Some of us Sometimes we feel we've been so inundated throughout our lives with a lot of negative interaction with people, negative agreements, mind control, whether it's through families, whether it's through mother, whether it's through father, whether it's through cousins, whether it's through auntie, whatever it is. They can be a weapon of mass distraction. And then sometimes our foods can be a weapon of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes our people turn our food has become a weapon of mass distraction and destruction, because sometimes people eat when they want to distract themselves from problems that they're going through. And then when they eat and eat and eat the satisfying foods, or the foods that are coddling them, then it becomes a disease, or it becomes a disease. It may become diabetes. It may become high blood pressure, because we have eaten the mass distraction that became a mass destruction, a weapon of mass destruction, which is our food source to a certain extent, unless you're growing your own food and constantly learning how to pay attention to nature. Like the late great Dr. Sabi used to say, if nature didn't make it, don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? If nature didn't make it, don't eat it. And of course, all of us are eating things that might be unnatural. Some of us are breathing air that might be unnatural. But like the late great Dr. Africa used to say, do the best you can. Do the best. He always used to say to me, do the best you can, King. We're in a society of that. We're on Earth here, taking in the experience, and at this time, an enemy might run the earth, but no one runs your spirit and your soul. If you take full accountability of your spirit and your soul, no one outside of you, the enemy outside of you, can do you no harm. The enemy outside of you could do you no harm. So stay focused, family. Be great in what you do. I don't care what it is that you do. Be great in what you do. If you're working at the job, stay focused and be great. If you're working at a job and you want to set up your own business, stay focused and put 10, 20, or 30% towards your own business, so eventually you can get away from working for somebody else's dream and start creating your own dream. But the weapons of mass distractions are out there. We're talking about it on social media, whether Dante Wilder got arrested, whether Ian Levanzant and Ebony Williams, who was right, whether they're still talking about Kevin Samuels, whether we're talking about the shooting that happened in this part of the world, or the bombing that happened in that part of the weapons of mass distraction is destroying the mental fiber of our community of original people. And I am not for the gloom and doom promotion. I tell you the truth. I am not about that no more. I've been in religion. I've been in Islam. I've been in Christianity. I've been in the Rasta. I've been in Babylon. I go fall. This I go fall. The fall of America. Is it true? Yes. The falling is happening. But are we ready to pick it back up, or pick up our own family and pick up our own self? Are we ready to pick that up? So, okay, if there's an inevitable fall that we know there can be, are we ready? So don't get distracted by fear and the whoremongers of fear out there. The people that like to promote the fear instead of promote the fabulous of us. Promote the fabulous of us and how we can become fantastic in this fabulousness of who we are. Stay focused. Stay great. Be your greatest self. And I'm not telling you not to be aware of what's happening, but don't let that take over your mind, because it can lead to depression. And that's why I wrote Numerovation for Mental Stability, so you can understand the greatness of each of your numbers from 1 to 31. If you're born from the first all the way to the 31st, it has a meaning. It has an interpretation due to cycles and sequences that we have studied, and older numerologists have studied, and those that go way back have studied before even the word numerology came into existence in 1907. Because it's a word that came into existence because they realized that someone is studying it before them. That's why they said, oh, that's numerology. Interesting. They noticed that our ancestors recognized the cosmos, so they called it cosmology, because they said, why are they looking up in the stars? Why are they mapping it? Why are they drawing figures of the Dogons are drawing figures of Sirius B and all that way before telescopes? Now it's called cosmology, or astronomy, studying of these things, because they seen ancient people of antiquity doing it, and they had to call it a word and create a study behind it. It's a study. That's why Dr. Africa used to talk about it's all theories, because they really don't know. So they had to create a whole multi-million-dollar study behind it so it can satisfy their mindset. So again, family, be very mindful and alert of the weapons of mass distraction. And instead of being distracted, be willing to stay focused and help yourself to be greater than what you are today. Every day that you get up out of your bed or out of the floor, whatever you're sleeping on, you have a choice to make. Even if you're in prison, even if you're on lockdown because of something you did or got caught up in something, allow your mind to be free from that distraction, because you can close your eyes and go anywhere you want. You can close your eyes and go anywhere within. That's why meditation is so important in schools. Meditation, and big up to, I was watching Director X from out of Canada, Toronto, Canada, and 19 Keys speaking on meditation. And when they employed meditation into schools and prison, it changed the frequency of that prison or that school. So if your children's school is not doing the meditation, you teach your child meditation at home. It should not be upon a school system or a prison system. As a matter of fact, when I got locked up back in the 90s, the first thing I did was find a vent. I don't care if it was on the floor or near the bench that I had to be locked up in for the whole weekend. I found the floor, I found a vent, and I meditated. Folded my legs and stayed in meditation. And because the breeze of the vent was coming in, the breeze represented the freedom that I know that I'm supposed to be and that I wasn't supposed to be inside that place. I didn't eat their food. I didn't even want to drink their drinks. Because when you calm the body down in meditation and you start fasting, you shut down the body's organ to want to pass gas, want to pass stool, and even sometimes to want to stop passing urine. So I didn't want to pee or defecate in front of 10 or 15 men inside that prison. So I shut down the body through meditation and fasting when I was in jail. I wasn't in prison. I was in jail for 3 days. And usually when you get locked up on a Friday, you got to wait till Monday. That's how they work. You know what I'm saying? To get you out. It is what it is. So I was able in the jailhouse to shut down the distractions. Nobody bothered me, because first of all, as soon as you get into meditation, these guys either think you're crazy or they think you got a certain amount of knowledge. It's one or the other when you go into a jailhouse or a prison. When you start doing meditation, it's showing that you just want to be at peace. Either he knows something that they don't know, and they think you're crazy. They think some people will think you're crazy. Like, what the fuck this dude doing? Oh, what the hell he doing? He just sitting there breathing and in folded position and all that kind of stuff and staying under the vent. As long as you don't touch me, I'm fine. As long as you don't even appear to come towards my way to aggress upon me. That's why our prayers in the dojo was, as we walk in peace, and fear will not prevail. We are not the aggressors, but if we are attacked, we fight with those who fight with us And if we must fight, we fight to the death or the finish, whatever it is. That was our dojo creed. 30 years I've been saying that prayer. Even as I leave my house, I'm in that creed. That's how I was taught in the dojos under the system of Dr. Moses Powell, G.M. Anthony Muhammad, Soke Littlejohn, Professor Bill, and all the various ones that I've come encountered with. So that's how I live my life as I walk. And then there's another part, man and woman in martial arts. But I live my life in that. That's my creed. That's my prayer. That's my meditation as I walk the street, as I'm in events. I'm always staying on the alert. General orders from the Nation of Islam is always in play when I'm out there in that world. And some of y'all need to get the general orders. Walk your post in a perfect manner, being always on the alert. Take charge of this post and all temple property view. When it says that, it's not just pertaining to a mosque or a church. It's talking about your temple. Take charge of your temple and all temple property in view. Everything else around you, you got to take charge of it. So those people that ever came to an event, you'll notice that I'm not distracted. I'm in full soldier mode, full warrior mode, to tell you the truth. I'm in full warrior mode. Warriors and soldiers is two different things. I'm in full warrior mode because warrior can turn it off and turn it on. Soldiers follow orders by somebody else's command. But a warrior, when it's time to make necessary moves, to do necessary thing at a necessary time and the appropriate time, that's when the warrior kicks in. So that's a warrior's creed. That's why Dr. Khalid used to say, we are all saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers. And that's embedded in my very heart and my mind. That statement that Dr. Khalid, that warrior creed that Dr. Khalid gave us, it's embedded. We are all saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers. All of us. Because if you had to do it, you're going to have to do it. You can be a saint all you want. Even Jesus had that. He had his own disciples was carrying something. How in the world? Soldiers come to take Jesus and one of their ears get cut off by one of the disciples if they wasn't taught. You know what it's like? You know how proficient you have to be able to cut off somebody's ear without taking off the whole side of their face? Oh, I would say that those disciples that was around Jesus in the quote unquote Bible history, Bible theory, they was proficient with their swords or their knife. I would say that. People might not look that deep, but for cut off somebody's ears, soldier coming to take your master teacher, it's a different thing. So I'm just saying. On that note, family, just be aware of the mass distractions out there. They're throwing it out. They're throwing it at you through radio, television, media, all of that. They're throwing it because remember, the negative of media or the negative of news is what they call sexy. I've sat at the board meetings and hear them say that. That is sexy news. That's what's attracting people. I've been there, working on radio. I was told this at a radio meeting that this is the negative news is sexier to people. So on that note, family, again, pay attention to the weapons of mass distraction out there, but stay focused on the internal strength of who you are. And your internal strength should be able to rub off on your family members, your wife, your husband, your mate, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever you might be doing, it should be able to rub off. And if it's not able to rub off, and your husband or your girlfriend or your wife is caught up in the distraction, sometimes you need to distance yourself from the distraction. Go into a park somewhere. Go into the water somewhere. Go meditate somewhere. Take time for yourself and don't get caught up in the weapons of mass distraction. On that note, family, I want to remind everybody to vote, nominate me at Forbidden Knowledge TV Awards coming up on July the 30th. Nominate me And you can text the number 954-245-0086. That's 954-245-0086. You can nominate more than one time. Don't worry about it. On the 7th of May, I will be speaking at Tassili Raw's new place, a place called Teas and Coffee Cafe over there, 640 Evans Street in the west end of Atlanta from 2 to 6 p.m. I will be there. I should be on by there's opening speakers that will be there, libation and all that. So I will be there. I should be on stage by 4 o'clock at 640 Evans Street. It's called Teas and Coffee Cafe, organic coffee, I believe they serve, and they have food there, and also because Tassili is definitely going to be there. Come out there. It's called The Importance of Staying Motivated with Your Numbers. I'm using that since I am the numerovator. I want to keep people motivated. On Wednesday, May the 10th, I will be speaking with Lloyd Strayhorn, Aquarius Maximus, Nina Diamond, and Jackie Levine about the upcoming workshop and seminar and retreat that we are doing in New Orleans on August the 17th through August the 20th. Go to stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com for more information. And if you want to be a part of that, they got rates, they got various rates and you got a payment plan if you want to make a payment plan. Go to stshealing.com. On May the 17th, I will be interviewing my dear friend and massage therapist, Adara Moselle. She's going to speak on can practicing Tantra help our relationship, save our relationships. She's a tantrika, master tantrika and shaman and all that. So I have her coming on May the 17th. On May the 21st, that Sunday, I have Kerry Ann Ingram, a Reiki teacher, Reiki master, teacher, educator, guide, motivational speaker from out of Toronto, Canada. She's coming in on May the 21st. That's a Sunday. And then on May the 24th, I have a double header. I have the one, the only Donnie Arcade coming in at 7 o'clock on King Simon Presents. All this is on King Simon Presents at 7 o'clock. Donnie Arcade, artist, actor, author. He's going to be on with me. Also, he was nominated for the Forbidden Knowledge Awards also. And at 9 o'clock, I have Conjure Queen, my sister Conjure Queen from out of Brooklyn. She going to be in the building. She gangster, yo. Conjure Queen. Y'all seen on Brother Rich show? We going to talk about something different, but Conjure Queen is going to be on 9 o'clock, and Donnie Arcade will be on at 7 o'clock. And then on May the 31st, I will be doing an interview with someone who I considered in the league of Jewel Pookrum. And she's a little younger than Jewel Pookrum, but she was teaching right alongside as a younger lady back in the day at LIU with Brother Shabazz lecture series, Eye Opener lecture series. So Sonia Barrett, PhD, will be in the building. And she's also a PhD not only in what she does in the science of what she does, but also she deals with neuroscience. And she's going to be in the building on May the 31st. And then later that evening, she'll be on at 7 o'clock. And then later that evening, I will be interviewed by Nikki Shepard and her business partner also on Forbidden Knowledge TV. All right. So please go to my link tree right here on IG on the description or the profile section, and go to my link tree, and you can go to all my YouTube links, all my Facebook links, all my private links, all my class links. All of it is on Linktree. All my websites, my PayPal, all Cash App, all of it. Donations to the Ministry of Numerovation. You can make a donation to that. I am the Numerovator, and it has been a pleasure to be before you. Remember, be very alert of the weapons of mass distraction and stay focused on your greatness. Your greatness. Your greatness is what you should stay focused on. All right? Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. And if you want to book a session with me, please text me at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. You could either talk to me directly when you book a session, or you can get a pre-recorded thing. If you don't want to talk, you just send me three questions that you want answered within the whole 30 minutes, and it's still the same price, but you got to just wait your turn. If you want to interrupt my list, there's an extra amount of circulation you have to do if you want to interrupt my long waiting list. My waiting list is in June right now, going into July. But if you're patient, it'd be well worth it. I'll tell you that. All right. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Make sure you get all my books. All the links to my books is online right now on my link tree also. Okay. And the direct link to nominate me is also on the link tree also. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be blessed, be strong, be focused, and avoid the weapons of mass distraction, and stay focused and be great. Take care. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Hey, this is King Simon, the international numero veta. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to linktree/King Simon, the numero veta. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
One thing I've realized over the years, especially being a disaster preparedness instructor under the IPN, International Preparedness Network, and also studying the metaphysical arts and esoteric arts, is that our people are reactionaries. They're not proactive. And one thing in the disaster preparedness community, they always stress being proactive. And like the disaster preparedness community, in numerology or astrology or cardiology or all the rest of the metaphysical sciences, they are striving to help you to be more proactive in your life instead of reactive. It's not going to work when you just react to everything when it's really about being proactive. So
help guide you to your highest and wisest levels by using proactive tools